Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Josh and this is the 24/7 News Report. Today's headline comes from the Liverpool Echo, who have reported that the independent panels commissioned to hear Everton's appeal and then its defence against a second allegation could consider a transfer ban on the club. Definitely better than a points reduction in my opinion. We would not want more. We don't want the one we've got. We don't want any points being deducted in any way. A transfer ban definitely wouldn't be easy, but given the fact that financially we're struggling to bring in players anyway, the amount that would really be taken away from us compared to something like a points deduction, I think we could live with the transfer ban. Again, it wouldn't be easy, but I think at the minute our squad is decent enough as long as we don't lose anybody. Assuming that maybe Danjuma goes and we bring in another loan player. The only issue with the transfer ban really for us is we'd want to see probably Harrison be brought in on a proper transfer rather than loan. So that's where the transfer ban would hit us really, making our loans that we want in permanent. But it's just something that it's like the best of two evils here, and it seems like it's again it's just something that they would consider according to the news here. So it's nothing definite at the minute, but it just shows that a points deduction isn't just the only thing that would be considered as a punishment. Telegraph Football have put out reports saying if Newcastle sell Miguel Almiron to Saudi Arabia, they will use the money to push forward with the attempt to sign Amadou Onana. Not a player we want to see leave, and if he does leave, we really want a replacement in as soon as possible, and we want as much as we can for Onana because he is a valuable player for us. Definitely someone we don't want to see leave. We've seen quite a few clubs interested in Onana, and Newcastle seem to be one that will push the hardest if they get the sale of Almiron through. Hopefully we don't allow this to go forward, but if it has to happen, let us get the most amount of money possible. Luke Edwards has reported that Leeds and Sheffield United are set to go ahead for Everton's Ben Godfrey. Another couple of clubs in for Ben Godfrey. We've heard the likes of Spurs and European clubs have their eye on Ben Godfrey, and obviously with him not getting the play time here at Everton, it seems like further afield might be something he might look for if he doesn't want to play back up to Branthwaite and Tarkowski for the rest of his career. You never know, he could make a surge in, but I mean he's got strong competition. He'd have to get the chances for a start, which is a tricky one. Unless they're suspended or injured, he isn't getting the play time. It's a shame how things have gone. I've always had a liking for Ben Godfrey and hope that he would become what I think a lot of people hoped he would at the start. But yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like a player that will be forcing into the first team anytime soon. So we'll see what happens transfer wise. Mail Sports have claimed that Arnaut Danjuma is frustrated with the situation at Everton, and that Lyon are still keen on taking him till the end of this season. Now, this is a hot topic. A lot of talk about Danjuma leaving. Obviously, he's an Everton player, so it's ultimately up to us whether we let him leave Everton and take that Lyon move. But it's a tricky one. We'd really have to have that backup lined up for this, and that the swap coming in for a player that'll take his role, I guess. Because even though he's not getting that first team football and the starts he wants, he does actually have quite an important squad role. Because we would see if he were to go and then we have injuries on his position. if he wasn't there to then step into the breach, then we'd really feel that hole in the squad. We had our eye on a better winger. I assume that would be to plug that gap if he were to leave. But yeah, it's a tricky situation. Obviously, it's an issue because if we don't let him leave, he'll just there may be that resentment build up, and then possible fallouts and that kind of route, which obviously isn't good. But then if we do let him leave and don't get that signing in to replace him, then we're in a terrible situation. So hopefully this situation is being closely managed by Everton, and all avenues are planned for. Nizar Kinsella has reported that Everton, Fulham, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest have been interested in a deal for Krasnodar striker John Cordoba. Any deal would include a £7 million option to buy Cordoba in the summer. A player I know nothing about, but £7 million option to buy. I'm not sure if that's in our capabilities at the moment, and if a transfer ban were to come into effect, again, not saying it will, but it would make things tricky on that one. But might be a good player for us, and then it's nice having that option if he were to impress. And £7 million for a striker, if he were doing well for us, would be a good deal. But we'd have to see really how he were to perform. Finally, Paddy Boyland has put out reports that last week USA men's team under-23 defender Brendan Craig had a trial at Everton with a view to a potential move. No decision had currently been made on the 19-year-old's future, however. Again, not a player I know anything about, but one for the future maybe. It's nice to see that we're still looking for the future, and hopefully our team of scouts and people at the club are looking to really better our future squad through pickups like this. He might be a really good player. Again, I don't know much about him, but hopefully our scouts are looking in the right places for these young talented players that we can really take advantage of. Anyway, that's it for the Toffee Blues and the news here. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you think a transfer ban would be a better punishment than maybe a points reduction? How do you feel about Amadou Onana possibly being sold to Newcastle? Ben Godfrey, would you like to see him leave? Would you like to see him stay? And the Danjuma situation. Let me know how you feel about everything down in the comments. This has been the Toffee Blues. Thanks for watching. See you later.